Regional broadcaster Northeast Live reported that the NSCN-IM has refused to join key Naga peace consultations convened by the Forum for Naga Reconciliation (FNR), scheduled at Ungma village in Mokokchung. As of now, this refusal is documented primarily by Northeast Live's short report and social posts or video, which frame the story as an exclusive. No official NSCN-IM press note specific to the Ungma consultation was available in the public domain at the time of writing. Therefore, the claim should be treated as reported but not independently corroborated. What is the Ungma consultation and who called it? Invitations for a reconciliation-focused gathering at Ungma, Mokokchung, circulated on local pages in recent days, referenced a community-hosted space for Naga tribal bodies, Ho-Hos, and Naga Political Groups under the moral umbrella of FNR and allied civil society. While such notices are not formal communiques, they indicate an intent to convene stakeholders in Ungma on August 23, 2025, positioning the event as a community-anchored dialogue. Why FNR matters? Since 2008, the Forum for Naga Reconciliation has functioned as a civil society platform dedicated to reducing factional violence and coaxing rival groups toward dialogue, producing landmarks such as the 2009 Covenant of Reconciliation and later Concords. In 2024-25, FNR re-energized calls for an inclusive approach, avoiding exclusions and urging all groups to engage in common political cause language that remains central to its appeals today. The 2025 push, Treatise and Council idea. In early 2025, FNR facilitated a new round of intra-Naga understandings that culminated in the January 14, 2025 Treatise. The document, signed by representatives of Naga Political Groups, NPGs, calls for immediate steps toward unity and for setting up a Council of Naga Cooperation and Relationship, a proposed forum to shepherd reconciliation into practical coordination. Public statements also warned that actors obstructing unity would face moral accountability to the people. The government-side context. Parallel to civil society initiatives, the Government of India, GoI, maintains two principal negotiating tracks: the 2015 Framework Agreement with NSCN-IM and the 2017 agreed position with the Working Committee of the Naga National Political Groups, WC-NNPGs. The existence of two instruments and two claimants to represent Naga aspirations has complicated convergence. Public commentary through late 2024 and early 2025 consistently flagged this dual-track logjam as a core obstacle to a final pact. Where NSCN-IM stands today, in August 2025, NSCN-IM's top leadership, Chairman Q, Tukyu, publicly reaffirmed commitment to the 2015 Framework Agreement while dismissing prospects of unity with WC-NNPGs. This stance recast the group's long-standing red lines, special symbols, flag and constitution, and a political relationship distinct from standard state-level arrangements, while signaling limited appetite for umbrella platforms perceived as diluting the Framework Agreement's primacy. Where WC-NNPGs stands today. In the same period, WC-NNPGs issued sharp rebuttals of NSCN-IM's positions and rejected any accord with NSCN-IM, asserting the agreed position as the superior, more consultative path. Their statements criticize NSCN-IM for sidelining FNR brokered pacts 2009-2014 and for allegedly signing the Framework Agreement without broader Naga consultation. This entrenched rivalry makes joint appearances at reconciliation platforms politically costly. The media, flashpoint. Refusal to attend Ungma. Against this backdrop, Northeast Live broadcast a brief item claiming NSCN-IM refused to attend the Ungma consultations organized or facilitated by FNR, framing it as a blow to an already fragile process. Absent a contemporaneous NSCN-IM press note, the report constitutes a single-source media claim useful but awaiting broader triangulation. Multiple uploads across Northeast Live's YouTube and Facebook channels underscore the editorial confidence of the outlet about the refusal, but independent newspapers had not published matching headlines at the time of review. How unusual is such a refusal? Historically, boycotts or conditional participation are not unusual when factions perceive the agenda as undermining their preferred mandate or instrument. Even in May 2025, when FNR publicly emphasized an inclusive unity process in Kohima, the release implicitly warned that those indifferent to the collective call would isolate themselves language that acknowledged possible no-shows. Therefore, a reported refusal tracks with the pattern of selective engagement. Does the Ungma format threaten anyone's leverage? For NSCN-IM, an FNR-facilitated conclave that mixes tribal ho-hos and multiple NPGs, including WC-NNPGs, may be read as a forum in which the Framework Agreement is just one of several texts rather than the core mandate. Refusing to attend preserves bargaining purity around the Framework Agreement and avoids optics of parity with the NNPGs in a civil society setting. For WC-NNPGs, by contrast, joint forums amplify their claim of consultative legitimacy under the agreed position. The Ungma venue and AO civil leadership, Ungma, one of the Naga heartland villages, has symbolic weight. In recent days, community pages indicated invitations spearheaded by AO Senden, AO apex body, and partners to host a journey of common hope at Ungma, linking social capital to reconciliation. If a principal stakeholder stays away, the venue's moral leverage is blunted, though the gathering may still serve as a coalition-building moment for other groups. What Wasbir Hussain and Regional Discourse are signaling, regional commentator Wasbir Hussain and Northeast Live's broadcasts in recent weeks have emphasized that the NSCN-IM NNPGs equation has hardened. Short format explainers on the channel highlight NSCN-IM's refusal to sit with NNPGs, a broader position that provides context for the Ungma decision. While such commentary is analysis rather than official communiques, it aligns with the statements both camps issued in early August. Civil society pressure versus armed political calculus. FNR's January 14 treatise and related calls seek to dissolve rival mandates into a shared process. But armed political organizations calibrate attendance based on mandate preservation, fear of agenda capture, and constituent expectations. With WC-NNPGs publicly rubbishing the Framework Agreement and NSCN-IM scuttling parity narratives, any forum that appears to equate the two tracks can trigger strategic abstention. The Ungma episode seems to fit that logic. What this means for the peace process timeline. The peace process has advanced in spurts since the 1997 ceasefire, but the period from 2015 onward has been marked by textual pluralism, Framework Agreement versus agreed position. Even optimists concede that without inter-Naga convergence, New Delhi lacks the political cover to table a final compromise. Events like Ungma are supposed to generate convergence, so a refusal, if sustained, implies no imminent breakthrough. Scenario short-term, next 1 to 3 months. Scenario A, side channel engagement. NSCN-IM may avoid the public Ungma format while maintaining back-channel talks either with the Government of India or through trusted church and civil interlocutors. This would mirror past moments when formal boycotts coexisted with quiet contact. Likelihood, moderate, given the group's long engagement history with New Delhi. Scenario A, parallel mobilization. WC-NNPGs and tribal bodies could use the Ungma moment to consolidate their camp, issue resolutions, and lobby Delhi to translate the agreed position into a settlement irrespective of NSCN-IM. This posture is visible in recent communiques, positioning their text as the people's voice. Likelihood, moderate to high. Scenario C, public pressure on boycotters. If Ungma produces a strong civil society statement, FNR and tribe ho-hos may name and shame abstainers to compel participation in a subsequent round. FNR's February language about accountability foreshadowed such tactics. Likelihood, contingent on attendance breadth in Ungma. A hardening split risks two separate settlement logics continuing in parallel, one Framework Agreement-centric, one agreed position-centric, inviting competing claims of legitimacy, and in worse cases, post-agreement friction over implementation authority, territorial coordination, and benefit distribution. Past civil society statements warn that those ignoring the unity call risk self-isolation, a euphemism for diminished moral capital, and grassroots patience. Even without multi-outlet confirmation, a regional broadcaster's on-record claim affects perceptions among cadres, village councils, and church bodies about who is with reconciliation. The information effect can shape negotiating space because actors in Delhi and Kohima read such signals when planning next steps. That is why a concise Northeast Live bulletin matters, though it is prudent to watch for subsequent confirmations or denials. Key indicators include attendance lists of tribal ho-hos and NPGs, any joint resolution invoking the January 14 treatise, or the proposed council, whether the text names abstaining groups or leaves the door open, and if any emissaries claim they represent NSCN-IM informally. Community invitations suggest a strong AO civil society footprint which can lend weight to follow-on meetings. Delhi's calculus. The union government's known preference is for a broadly inclusive endgame that limits spoilers. But with electoral cycles and national security equities always in the background, Delhi may encourage incremental arrangements with groups ready to sign while maintaining a channel with NSCN-IM. Analysts have previously noted Home Ministry firmness on flag and constitution questions, making convergence harder absent creative sequencing.